What am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to say that this show had all the potential, had all the talent, had all the promise to not only be one of TNA's best, to be TNA's best pay-per-view of the year, but be one of their best pay-per-views in several years? Well, with the freaking, what's it called, Turning Point show from last year. But how is it that this company just can't fucking get anything right? Seriously. I mean, I understand Genesis to them, it's kind of... Genesis is probably their fourth biggest show of the year. They treat Genesis especially. In fact, some people would argue that it's probably their third biggest show of the year, depending on how you view Slammiversary. And I get that Genesis is a bigger pay-per-view. But to completely... What they did in this main event, to just... When you want to throw away all your main events for rematches or for bigger matches at Genesis, you do that the pay-per-view before. Which is what this one was. You don't do it 2 pay-per-views before and then do the same thing again the pay-per-view after that, before the actual big show. Because then you are completely throwing away your second hours and you ruin your shows. Turning Point sucked. Turning Point was terrible. Turning Point, in my opinion, was the second worst TNA pay-per-view of the year. Just right behind Slammiversary, just because I fucking hated Slammiversary. Turning Point... The main events for Turning Point were god-awful. And Turning Point didn't have a strong enough undercard to make up for that. Which was the problem. It had a good 3 matches, but still not strong enough to make up for that. Dreamer got hurt, and the EV2 match didn't go over that well. So, this show, they had an incredible undercard. One of the best undercards I had seen all year. You had a great Full Metal Mayhem match. I don't care what anybody says. Was it, like, amazing? It wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I still thought it was great. Yeah, I only bumped it up because of the feud. I do like this feud. I do like that TNA's been continuing with this feud since No Surrender. They've stayed committed to this feud. It made sense to have a Full Metal Mayhem match. So I liked it. You had a very, very good TV title match. Very, very good. You had a good First Blood match. A freaking surprisingly good First Blood match. A good opener. You had a surprisingly good Pope Abyss match. I'm not going to say that match was good, but I actually thought it was pretty alright. Robbie E Lethal was also alright. The Mickie James Tara match was a good women's match, just still not a good match in general. You figure with this card, this pay-per-view had to have been amazing. The 2 main events were terrible. Not just terrible. They were more offensive than last month's. Because at least last month you can make the argument, oh, well, they're just going to redo the 3 matches next month, so we'll get our satisfying finishes the next month. No! They literally repeated the same finish for the Joe match. The exact same finish, except instead of the choke, they used the ankle lock. Great. And then I don't even know what they did in that. My God, the main event was atrocious. WWE's second halves do suck. I will admit. Bragging right, second half, terrible. Survivor Series, which I was at, and I will openly admit, second half, fucking terrible. WWE's second halves are never this bad. Those 2 matches single-handedly brought this pay-per-view down from one of the best pay-per-views, from one of TNA's 5 best pay-per-views the past 3 or 4 years, to like not even their best pay-per-view this year. The show, as a show, it was terrible, but as a pay-per-view, as a wrestling show, it was still good. I can't deny that. And, you still had some good matches. But as far as what the pay-per-view accomplished, what did it fucking accomplish? We had another above-average Motor City Machine Guns match. I mean, this one was better than above average, but that's what the last one was. We had a good TV title match. We had a good First Blood match. Like, what happened storyline-wise? What was accomplished on this pay-per-view? Fucking nothing. Nothing. Let's get into the show. Beer Money Inc. I like this match. Good opener, hot crowd, really enjoyed it. Not a big fan of Inc. on offense. I don't think they're that. I'm not saying they're not that talented. Moore's alright, and Neil I just think needs some work. It's not that they're not talented, because they do have talent. It's just that Inc. really, they just don't have a lot of things to provide on offense. They're a good team. Don't get me wrong. They're a good team. And they work well together. But it's just like, offensively, it's just they don't bring much to the table. It makes the matches kind of bland. But this match with Beer Money, great team. What can you say? I thought this was a great match. I thought this was a good match. I give it 3 stars. No funny titles there. Tara versus Mickie James in a Falls Count Anywhere comedy bathroom match or whatever, something. I don't know. I don't have the funny titles figured out. TNA does not deserve my funny titles. I'm still going to put them, though, because you guys like them. This was alright. Not as good as their last match, in my opinion. Still alright. They had some nice weapon shots. Went to the bathroom. I thought that was fucking stupid. Madison Rayne coming in and hitting Mickie with the belt. Didn't make sense, though. You set up Madison Mickie, which is what the I don't know. That's the directive of this whole feud, to set up just for Madison Mickie, which sucks because this match was going to be much better than Madison Tara. I mean, Madison Mickie would be nowhere near as good as Mickie Tara, so I don't know why they have to, like, whatever. I thought this was alright, though. I give it 2.5. Robbie E versus Jay Lethal, I thought it was alright. A little too short, in my opinion. And, you know, it was going fine for what it was. I give it 2.25, 2.5. Hated the ending, though. Hated the ending. I don't want to go into it. Too tired. Rhyno versus RVD, very surprising match. This was a million times better than I thought it would be. Really, really good. RVD and Rhyno worked well together. They had some nice stuff. RVD was a little off, a little clumsy in this match. He was slipping, he was falling, he wasn't connecting properly. He was like not placing the weapons in the right place. He was sloppy, I will admit. But match was still fine for what it was. I actually liked it. I gave it 3 stars. AJ Styles versus Doug Williams. Really good match. Dave Meltzer thought this match was excellent. I didn't think it was that good, but I thought it was still really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Doug Williams is a really good talent, not going to lie. And he's just so much fun to watch. He's so fluid with his technical wrestling that you will never get bored. AJ Styles is freaking AJ Styles. My only problem was the crowd was really behind AJ Styles. And it didn't really help matters when Doug Williams beat AJ Styles with AJ's own finisher. Sorry that I spoiled it. I kind of had to. It's just like, why would you do that? The crowd's not rooting for you anyways. All that's going to do is get you not more heel heat, because you're not a heel. It's just going to get less heat for the match in general. Because they're going to be like, wait a minute. You're a heel. You just did the other guy's move that we've been cheering the whole match. So what are we supposed to do? So you don't get heat at all, which is even worse. I guess. No, I'd argue that no heat at all is worse than getting heat for the wrong opponent. So, really, I hated that finish. I'm not going to lie. I hated that finish. But the match was really good. I'm not going to deny the work of the workers, the effort of the workers. They had a really good match. Doug Williams did a really sick chaos theory that I did not want to ruin. This was really good. 3.5. Second best match of the night. Motor City Machine versus Never Machine. This was a great Full Metal Mayhem match. Was it as good as I thought it would be? No. Was it kind of a stunt show at times? Yeah, I can see that. But what I liked about this match was really innovative. There are so many spots in here that I'd never seen before. A lot. They really liked. It's almost like they saw all the famous Hardys, Dudleys, Edge, and Christian matches in the 2000s, and they just looked, okay, this is what they did. Let's not do this. Let's do this, but let's do it differently. And I really like that. It made the match a lot better. A lot of innovative stuff. So I gave it 4 stars. I gave it 4.25 actually because, like I said, the feud, the dedication to an actual program for a few months. So yeah, waiting for me. Next we have Pope versus Abyss. Again, I thought this match was fine. I didn't think it was as bad as I was nowhere near as bad as their match last month. You know, it was kind of fine. It had a nice pace to it. I felt they kind of lost the crowd towards the end, but they regained them. People are not gonna like the finish. I was fine with it. I don't want to ruin it. To me, there was a really dumb spot where Abyss punched through the casket and like grabbed Pope's balls when Pope put Abyss in the casket. That was weird. But that wasn't the finish, so it didn't really bother me. But still, this match was a lot better than I thought it would be. A lot better, I would say. I gave it 2.75. I thought it was surprisingly all right. So far up to this point, we have a great match, a really good match, 2 good matches, a good women's match, a very all right casket match. One of the better casket matches I've seen in a few years, actually. Holy shit, yeah. When was the last time I saw a casket match better than this? I hated that Undertaker hide and rake match. I detested that Undertaker Big Show match. Good God, when was the last time I saw a better casket match than this? This is kind of sad. We're dipping back into Triple H versus Kane on Raw in 2002. God damn. I usually hate casket matches. I thought this one was alright. So yeah, 2.75. And really, all the last 2 matches that do would be alright. They didn't have to be good. If they were just alright, and I guess if Joe won, because I felt Joe needed to win here, because you're kind of going to go to Jarrett angle, I feel, for the next pay-per-view. If Joe won, and if they did a decent job with the main event, then this pay-per-view would be a great show. But, good God, they fucking messed it up. Joe Jarrett was a god-awful match. God-awful. I hated that match. It was I'm not going to try to say they were copying MMA like some people may think. It was not an MMA match. Yeah, Jarrett did have the MMA shorts, but that was part of the gimmick. That was not part of the match. Part of his gimmick is that he claims to be a mixed martial artist. So, of course, he's going to wear the shorts. It would be retarded if he didn't wear the shorts. And, Joe obviously used MMA moves. It's also a submission match. I'm sorry if that's by pure coincidence. The finish was terrible. Joe had I forget what he had. He had in the choke. Gunnar Murphy came down. Joe knocked him out. Jarrett got the ankle lock. Joe tapped. Same shit as last month. Except last month was actually a better finish because Joe Murphy came down, Joe stopped him, Jarrett attacked Joe, chokehold, and Joe was knocked out. This Joe actually said, I quit, which is much worse. TNA does not fucking know how to use Samoa Joe anymore. God, man, I feel so bad for this guy. So much talent, so much potential, and this is the way they fucking treat him. You deserve better, Joe. If you're watching this, you deserve better. You deserve to leave this fucking company right now. Because I do not believe. Now, if this all led to Joe Jarrett next month, another stipulation, Joe gets his revenge, Joe stands tall, fine. But I know that's not fucking going to happen. Angle's probably going to come back. He's going to do something with Jarrett. Good God, this match infuriated me. And even if they do the thing with Joe and Jarrett, Joe getting his comeback, you did this finish 2 pay-per-views in a row. Why am I supposed to care? Jarrett, you beat Joe twice. Good for you. Why should I care? Tell me that. Why should I fucking care if you fight him a third time? This match infuriated me. Infuriated me. Next we got the main event, which I actually thought was worse than the previous match. Jeff Hardy versus Matt Morgan. Jeff Hardy fucking kept hitting Matt Morgan with a twist of fate throughout this whole match. He walked out. Anderson brought him back into the ring, and then Anderson refused to count the pin. Morgan got one near fall where he carbon footprinted Jeff. Anderson was knocked out, and no one would count the pin. Eric Bischoff brings out Jackson James, throws him in the ring, and I'm thinking, okay, one or two things is going to happen. James is either going to turn heel. He's going to, count. He's going to pretend to count. 1, 2. When Jeff Hardy has the pin, and then he's not going to do it. And then Jeff Hardy is yelling at him. Eric Bischoff's yelling at him. He stands tall. Matt Morgan gets up, kicks Morgan in the balls. Jeff Hardy twists the face. I mean, it doesn't make much sense because he could have counted the pin earlier. But still, it would be a sign of a heel turn. It's wrestling, for fuck's sake. That would be good. I mean, it wouldn't be good because we've seen this coming for months and months. Or what else he could have done? Now, this would have been retarded, but still, he could have acted in defiance. And acted in defiance, turned face, or he already is face, I guess, and counted heavily for Morgan to win. But then in the end, despite much of his efforts, Jeff Hardy still gets the win. That's a good ending, too. That's actually a better ending. That's the best scenario because it wasn't a telegraphed heel turn like everyone thought it would be. He didn't fucking do anything. Eric Bischoff threw Jack James' names in the ring. He counted the pin. Jeff Hardy kicked out. Jeff Hardy gave Matt Morgan another twist of fate on the chair, and Jackson James counted the pin clean. It was such a nothing match, such a nothing main event. I give it a star. Yeah. I hated that match. Hated that match. Accomplished nothing for the feud. Nothing of importance happened during it. Didn't make any fucking sense at all. Bad match, for one. Good God, man. And TNA has done such a horrible job with Matt Morgan. Horrible. I understand he was a replacement, a last-minute replacement. That doesn't excuse what a goddamn terrible job they did with his character. You're trying to make him... Look, I understand. You were in a situation, but still, you have an opportunity to elevate someone here. And you do one of the worst jobs I've ever seen. Jeff Hardy owned Matt Morgan in this match. He did. He gave him twist of fates all throughout the match. Fuck you, TNA. I've never felt this bad after a TNA pay-per-view. You put on a good show. You put on a good show. You had a lot of good matches. Doesn't mean it was a good pay-per-view. I've never felt so angry after such a good show. Doesn't speak volumes about your company. Does not speak good things about your company. What can I say? I'm at eBay shit. Down there. I'm out. See ya.